All right, guys, I'm back working on this toolbox again. I went ahead, I don't know if I showed, I can't remember where I'm at. I've had to work so much, so I went ahead and cut the lid off, and I can't remember the gentleman's handle. Herbomonger? I can't, but I better not. He suggested not to cut the lid. I don't need the lid. The lid will be in the way. The more I played with it, I didn't like the lid. I didn't like and that being a double wall. If you ever done, have you ever done body work, you'll understand what I mean, because the double wall thickness to the metal, one, it's hard to manipulate. Once metal stretches, it doesn't really go back the way it was formed. You really have to work at it, and I don't want to spend 6 hours getting a bend out of the door. It's not worth it for me. I just want a nice, clean, good-looking toolbox. I am not going to use Bondo on this. I'm not going to get all you can see some dents where somebody's like hit it with something or something's hit it. I'm not going to take them out, and one of the reasons is time constraints. Time is probably my most valuable asset. During the winter, I don't work as much, but I still work a lot. I have a lot of commitments. And once it gets above 70 degrees, usually outside that time of year until it cools off, I work 15, 16-hour days. So that's that. But I still want a good looking toolbox. And today what I'm doing, if I didn't show it on the other video, I'm just going to remove the drawers. And the reason I'm removing the drawers is I want to clean the inside, plus I want to get the rails and clean the rails real good and grease them to where they slide easy. And all you do on these, you push the tabs down, and they will bend down. So best thing to do after you get it all clean, get ready to put it back together, just bend that tab out just a little bit. I mean, not much, literally like that. That's all you do, and it slides. And these things are made to last forever, and you can see the spot welds here. You can drill these out. Like if you have one that's really damaged, you can drill these out and pop rivet one back on. I've done that before if you guys got one that's really bad shape. So just a tip, if you ever run across one, all you got to do is drill out where the spot welds are. Oh, here. Let's see if I can see. Drill out where the spot welds are, and you can buy a cheap spot welder and weld them back in, but it's cheaper to use a pop rivet and put them back. And for that matter, if you guys are really want to work hard or do something, make a spot welder. You can take a microwave apart and use the, I don't know what it's called inside the microwave, but I can make one out of a spot welder out of a microwave. Shoot, I can't remember what the thing's called. Anyways, just pop rivet. I'm getting off track here. So let me finish taking these apart, and I want to lay this flat because it's bent across here, and the top's bent, and I want to do a little dolly. I'm actually going to use a piece of wood and a 2x4 as a dolly. It'll work better than a piece of metal. Be right back. All right, some of you are not going to approve of my methods, but number one, I'm limited to 2 body hammers, one metal dolly, which it's over on the other box. Hang on, I'll go get it. Okay, I got 2. This is my all-purpose. I use this for everything. It's a body hammer. I have 1 dolly, and I have some ash hardwood. And what I'm doing right at the moment, if you guys can see it, but there's a bow right here. Why am I worried about that? it bothers me. I don't know what else to tell you, except I want to take a little bit of that out. It's getting better. High spot right there. And I think part of the problem is here too. Don't watch, you guys don't like this. It's getting better. Still got a high spot right there. That metal's stretched. It's right there. We'll work on that spot a little more. That's pretty good. This is not bad right here. The way this is bent, there's not a whole lot to do right there. I could heat it up, I guess, with a torch and kind of manipulate it, but the metal's folded over and doubled right here. That's going to be hard to fix. I think, lid-wise, except for the front, I didn't show it, sorry. The back of this is actually really good now. I'll straighten that up pretty good. There's a little bit of bow right there and down on the end, but it opens and closes so good now. So I really can't complain about that. I need to drill these out where the, oh, I don't know what you call these things. There's a name for these. We used to make hope chests and cabinets and stuff. Put them on there. Let me get drill them out. Then I'm ready to kind of clean this off and sand it. All right. This video is probably gonna suck, sorry. Okay. I got two. This is my all-purpose, I use this for everything. It's a body hammer. I have one dolly and I have some ash hardwood. And what I'm doing right at the moment, just so you guys can see it, but there's a bow right here. Why am I worried about that? It bothers me. I don't know what else to tell you, except I want to take a little bit of that out. It's getting better. High spot right there. And I think part of the problem is here too. Don't watch, you guys don't like this. It's getting better. Still got a high spot right there. That metal's stretched. It's right there. We'll work on that spot a little more. That's pretty good. This is not bad right here. The way this is bent, there's not a whole lot to do right there. I could heat it up, I guess, with the torch and kind of manipulate it, but the metal's folded over and doubled right here. That's gonna be hard to fix. I think, lid-wise, except for the front, I didn't show it, sorry. The back of this is actually really good now. I'll straighten that up pretty good. Let's see if you can see, yeah, that. There's a little bit of bow right there and down on the end. But it opens and closes so good now. So I really can't complain about that. I need to drill these out where the, oh, I don't know what you call these things. There's a name for these. We used to make hope chests and cabinets and stuff. Put them on there. Let me get drill and drill them out. Then I'm ready to kind of clean this off and sand it. All right. This video is probably gonna suck, sorry. All right, wiping it down now, getting it ready to sand. But there's tape. This might have been in a business because the way they had labels on it. Oh, by the way, if you ever, Harbor Freight sells these things right here. These are great, they're awesome. I know it's made in China, I don't care. Works good. Little carburetor cleaner. Softens the paint too, but I'm not worried because I'm going to repaint the whole thing anyways. I want to get the stickum off. And somebody's going to say use some goop. It doesn't work on, goop does not work on something that's 30 or 40 years old. The adhesive crystallizes and does not soften with goop. There we go. Feel something, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's in the paint. I mean, this thing's cleaning up really good. I could probably just leave it faded like this. But I just want to, I want to practice spray painting. I don't get to paint cars. I think I've painted like 17 cars or something like that in my life. And I like painting cars, but it's very hard work. This gives me an opportunity to practice a little bit, even though I'm not doing all the body work like I should. I'm not really worried about it. All right, I'll show you. Dent-wise, I got pretty good, except for this little round edge right here I'm not doing nothing with. It's cleaning up pretty good. The back's pretty good shape. I'm gonna have to put some pop rivets on that end for sure because the welds underneath the hinge have broke loose on that end. So, well, I'll show what I'll do there. But anyways, it's if I don't put pop rivets on it, it's like a chip in your glass. It'll completely crack. It'll bust all the welds loose over time. The more you open and close the lid, the more the welds will break. All right, finished cleaning. I'm gonna clean the rails out. I wish these rails would come out, but they're spot welded in, so, and I'm not going to drill them out. They're not that bad of shape. They just need to be cleaned. Take a wire brush and just brush the inside. just a little bit of cleanup. It's gonna actually be a good box. This is gonna be a nice box. It's gonna look nicer than I think it's going to, I hope. Well, I'll say I hope. It will, I know it will. All right. I don't know how this video is going to turn out. I sure hope this is not a sucky video. And I got to do something about these sharp edges. I may have to take a Dremel tool on these. These little edges here are sharp. I got to do something about that. All right, be back. I got the rust. Oops. Hang on a second. Hold this. I should have moved it. I got the rust cleaned. It's not the best. I thought about using some Rust-Oleum rust remover because you can brush that stuff on. The problem with it, it's an acid. It's aggressive. It's not like Evaporust. And you have to rinse it. And I don't want to put more water on this than needs be. So I think what I'm gonna do with the inside right here, it's not gonna be seen anyways, but so it'll last my lifetime and maybe something for my daughter to auction off. I'm gonna primer the inside right here, the base, just to help slow the rust. I don't know if you guys, I'll show you. I can't see the camera, sorry, it's not the worst, but I want to just contain it, I guess is the word I should say. Anyways, that is my plan. I don't think, it's not like the bottom's going to rust off out of this. I've seen gear housing motors and drums, 55-gallon drums take, decades to rust out. So I'm not where I just want to slow it down, and that's my thinking. So you guys can chime in however you want on that. But that's what I'm going to do. All right, it's actually looking pretty good. This side's got, I think this might have been in a welding truck. And the reason I say that, I found one welding rod and a brazing rod, and I found a sticker that said a rod on it, so it was missing half of the sticker part of it. So I think it might have been on a welding truck. Anyways, it's mine now, so all right. All right, guys, what I did here, and all I did was cover the rust with a high build primer, and only to seal it. That's the only reason. I just wanted to show that the inside where it was rusted. I'm trying to show you, sorry, it's hard to film, hold the flashlight and watch what I'm doing. And the reason I did it this way, shoot, camera, come on. And the reason I did it like this is that I'm not painting the inside. This in here I'm not worried about. My tools are in a shop. So this looks like, by the looks of it, this must have been on the back of a welding truck. I'm pretty sure it was. It was stored outside. It had water in it, and with the welding rod, it was either in a lean-to or on the back of a truck, something like that. I don't have to, once the moisture is not going to get to it, or the humidity in my shop is pretty constant, between 40 and 60%, so I'm not worried about moisture attacking the metal. And what little rust was in here, I'm not really worried about it. So that's my thinking. Once you cover rust, at least clean the majority of it, get down to some metal, and you seal it, it'll slow it down. It'll slow the growth of the cancer. I call rust cancer. It'll slow the growth. That's about the only thing you can do is if you use that Rust-Oleum product, you can clean it and actually neutralize it and then have a good surface to paint on. But this is how I'm doing it. It's cheap, inexpensive. I had this high yield primer. I say high yield, high build primer. And Rust-Oleum, there's several companies that make it, and it's a good product. It fills in dents, dings, little pivots and things like that. You can build it up and put a good coat. And that's all I'm doing inside. That's it. And now I'm going to come back and I'm going to grease the slides. And I'll show that here in just a little bit. All right, all I'm doing here is I'm greasing my slides. Just put some grease on with a brush. I could probably use some spray, lithium or something like that. I don't have any, and I'm not driving to town just for a $12 can of lithium grease. I have this mobile lithium stuff here, and I'm just brushing it on. Some people will gripe at me for this, but I don't care. My tools, my rules, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing this on the cheap, and see, just using a paintbrush and just getting it in the grooves. Let's see if I can, I got a magnet on my, anyways, that's what I'm doing. Nothing super fancy, nothing, no big budget item here. Yeah, make sure my tabs, let me bend my tabs out a little bit. These tabs, they'll bend in a little bit when you go to push them back. Whoops, dummy me. Hang on. Hang on. I gotta go get the other rails. All right, nothing super fancy. I just put a little wire brush and clean some of these off. They go in, when they go in, you can't put them in wrong on these anyways. They go either way. It's probably done at manufacturing. Okay. I'm making sure the clip works. Okay, that one's not catching. I need to bend that one out a little bit. There we go. I should have put more grease on my little cup here. Actually, these will slide pretty easily in the beginning, and as you put weight on it, that's where you'll start noticing. Let's see how this fits in here now. So the inside of some of these shelves or box are really nice. Drawers, I said box. That's going to work good. Okay, I just wanted to show you, that's what I'm going to do on each one of these. That one seems like it's sagging a little bit, but I don't see any play anywhere. It's just the way it is. Okay, let me I'm going to put all the drawers back, and then when I go to, I'm going to sand it as it is, and then paint it with the drawers closed. That way the overspray will go on in the inside. I just want the outside to look good. I don't care about the inside of the drawers or anything. This is not a total restoration. This is not a 57 Chevrolet. It's not something that you want pristine, at least not for me, because I'm going to use it. I'm not going to abuse it, like leave it outside, but it's still going to be a good toolbox. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my redneck press. Don't laugh at me. I've got this old clamp, and it's barely on it. I just realized I've got two identical screwdrivers, Klein screwdrivers, thickness to lift the ends up, and I'm pulling it down in the center with this board. It'll work. Laws of physics says it'll work. Now, I don't want to do, man, it's bent. But anyways, this is how I'm doing it. Probably what I'll do, let it sit like this for about 30 minutes or so. It looks like the metal's cracked right there. If you guys can see, there's a crack right there. I can't see if you guys can see it or not, but anyways, there's a crack there, trust me. And there's a crack right there. I'll just let this sit for a few minutes, 30 minutes or so, and then I don't want to bend too much. It will spring back, but you can take it too far too. I just want to do a little at a time and see how that works. Boy, this is redneck. All right, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it doesn't drag on the bottom anymore. So what I did worked pretty good. The only thing I don't understand is why it rides up. I'm wondering if it's something to do with the lock. Right at the last inch, right there. I think it's designed that way though. Doesn't matter. It's not, even with the weight, it's still good. It's level across the bottom there. And if I bend it any more, I think it's going to be too much. Yeah, I'm going to leave it just like that. That's good. Anyways, I wanted to show you that it rolls so easy now. All of them have a really good, and I may have too much grease on them, but I don't care. It's not like it's going to collect dirt like this is going to sit outside. So now I guess I can work on, I'll set up my Dremel tool. I think it's about the only way I can see, and just slowly, oh, turn it. Sorry, I'm paying attention to what I'm doing and not, I really need to get these sharp edges off. So I think I just take the Dremel and just cut that edge off of them. Take a little bit of time, but what the heck. It's either that or cut all this and I guess it takes just about as much time. I don't know, we'll see. I'll hook up a Dremel tool and see what we get. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's this box. I've got to fix the top, the drawer there, but I haven't got that far. I just got all the drawers out, and these guides. I got one down here. It's bent, so I'm gonna have to work on that, straighten that up. It's stuck in there, I think. The rest of these are just stiff. This one, that just needs work. This one's twisted, it's bent. I think what happened, by the looks of it, this drawer that was in here, I think they stepped on it, and when they did, they twisted this end, twisted that side in, they twisted it down, and twisted on the shelf, or the drawer. That's what I think happened. I hope I can fix that. Anyways, I'm gonna take each one of these out individually and clean the rails and then lube the rails and make sure they slide in and out effortless. God, I can't say that word. Easily. Anyways, looks like they have this thing stored outside somewhere. Mud daubers. Them red mud daubers, they hurt when they sting you. Anyways, getting it ready, getting it all apart. I'm gonna put all the drawers back in, and then I'm gonna paint it with the drawers in. Redneck metal bender. If I can lay it flat, I can hammer some of this out. All right. Wonder if I can lay it on the table. Might be easier just to tap it on the concrete. Alright, this ain't the best way to do it, but I don't have a lot of metal tools. Well, it's better than what it was. Not 100% though. I guess now the best thing to do is clean the drawer up and stick it in there and see how it closes. That's one way of bending and stuff. Oh no, wait a minute. Oh shoot. Look at that. Yeah, doggone it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pop rivet that. I'm gonna have to bend that back down and pop rivet. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Can you guys see that in the video? I can't. Let's see what I can do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, check that out. Fix that bend. It's pulling out too far. I've got to get it to where it won't pull out. Fix the little tabs. I haven't done that yet. But slides in and out perfectly. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I didn't think I was going to be able to fix that drawer, so that's bent pretty good. I think that's the only one that's really bent that bad. They use it as a step. So I gotta get the other drawer in, and then there's a sliding face that closes. I don't know if I'm gonna put that in or not. We'll see. Anyways, there you go. I hope you guys see that. I mean, it's not the best body work. I have no body tools except for one body hammer and one dolly, and that's all I got anymore. Everything else burned up in the fire. But yeah, that works pretty good. I'm happy with that. Slides right in and out. Okay. Onwards. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've got it together. I've got all the dents worked out pretty good, I think. I mean, this is not going to be a brand new box. I just want to show you. I got it cleaned up. I got all these slides. They slide open, all of them. They open and close really good. I'm not going to paint the inside of the drawers. One, I'm going to have liners in them. And two, I really don't care. It's a good used tool box. And if you see, I got the dents out of the bottom box really well. There's a little bit right here, but without cutting the spot welds off, see if I can get this open. Yeah, without cutting the spot welds off on the ends and the inside here and setting it out flat, it's going to be hard to work all that out. But you got to remember, I only paid $75 for this, and even I bent all the guides. That's another one to show you. The guides are straight. I used pliers and adjustable wrenches and a body hammer, and it is a stack on. I finally found something, and it says made in USA. So the door, I'm gonna leave the sticker on it. Third herd, combat. So I'm gonna leave that on, and that goes in these slides right here, and that folds down and closes. I'm gonna paint it separately. It's just gonna be hard to paint. So I got one more thorough cleaning. Give it a good cleaning, and then tomorrow actually I got some 500 grit wet dry sandpaper. One sheet of paper should be able to do all these surface areas here, and all I'm doing is rough. It's rough. 500 grit is not rough per se, I guess, if you consider 3000 grit, but 500 grit's enough to rough the surface to adhere paint. Here's the other cabinet. I got both these cabinets back in the day for $75. I did cut the lid off of this one. I'm gonna do a little more trimming on these. To get this hinge off, there again, I would have to drill through every spot weld that's underneath there, and I'm not gonna do that. I do have some hinges for it, but that I'm gonna do after I get it wet sanded. I'll wet sand it, and all the drawers open and close perfectly. With these, got all the guides working great. I call them guides. You see I got grease on. They're slides. But all in all, works really well. All right, guys. 500 grit sandpaper, 500C, wet dry, and bucket of hot water, because I don't like cold water. And all I'm gonna do is just lightly sand. That's it. Nothing fancy. All I'm doing is brightening the surface up for paint. Lightly roughing it up. You can see some of the paint. It's almost like buffing paint, which I suck at. I almost flunked buffing. I'm not good at buffing paint. That's all you do. Nothing super. One sheet of sandpaper will do this whole, both toolboxes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to paint those toolboxes. And got my paint, got my hardener, mix it together and see what we come up with. I did this in another video. Somebody asked me to go through a little more in detail. I'm using Van Sickle paint and hardener. The paint is about $23 a quart. Goes a long way. So if you want to paint some outdoor furniture or something like that, it's good stuff. I've painted tractor parts, dumpsters, metal shelving units, red barn, steel construction, red, can't remember what that red steel is called. Anyways, red steel. Anyways, a can of spray paint, $7 a can, and you can do same thing with this stuff. Now, you only need 1 ounce per quart of hardener, but I've got it. The problem with putting too much hardener in, it makes your paint hard. And some of you will say, well, that's what you want. Not necessarily. You don't want your paint hard to a point where if it gets nicked or bumped, it leaves big, deep chips. And that's what happens if you put too much hardener. But I have it, I'm using it. I've never put that much in. I think there was a little more than 2 ounces there. I don't care, I'm using it. Trying to use all the product that I have. I've been keeping my shop warm. It's up over 80 in my shop. The metal, I got the metal warm. The outside temperature is 62 degrees. I've got about 5-6 mile an hour wind. I'm trying to paint. It's my only day off, so I'm trying to do this as quickly as possible before the temperature drops. Because as soon as it gets dark, our temperature tonight's going to be 35, so I've got to bring that material in tonight before the temperature sets. I'm using an old Craftsman pot gun. I bought this at a pawn shop for 10 bucks. I like these old style pot cups. just to let you know, they're real easy to use. If you guys have never used one of these guns, don't tip it upside down. Don't hold it 90-degree angle. Hold it straight on. Top one is your fan. Bottom is your trigger. Adjust the trigger to where you feel comfortable. The first pull of the trigger will be nothing but air. Past that point will give you your spray. So adjust it to where you think you like your trigger pull. Top one, normally what I do is I go all the way tight and then open it up 2 turns, maybe 3. That's it. Leave the gun alone. Test it. Air pressure. When you hook up your air, not what air compressor pressure is, what line pressure. You should have a gauge on telling you what line pressure you got coming out your hose. I got mine set at 50. Between 40 and 50, you'll be just fine. I got mine set at 50 just because this gun seems to like 50 PSI better than 40. I don't know what it is. It may be the orifice. I can't tell you. I just know that's what I like. Hold it 8 to 10 inches away from the product you're shooting and keep moving. Do not stop. It doesn't matter if your paint is thin. You're going back over it anyways. You don't want your paint heavy. Do not shoot your paint heavy. You'll cause runs. It's better to have a dry spot than a run spot. It's easier to go back over it a second time than it is to sand your runs out. Trust me. I know. That's it. Right there. Nothing fancy. Cheap little, I like the pot guns that Harbor Freight sells. $19, whatever they sell them for. I have one at work. I keep lacquer in it. It's had lacquer in it for years. Literally 7-8 years. I don't never clean it. I clean the tip out and that's it. So cheap, good, inexpensive guns. The way the price of spray paint is going right now, it's probably best to use something like this. If you have outdoor furniture or something like an old barn or something you want to paint, you can use this paint. I've painted tractor parts, painted toolboxes with it, dumpsters, shelving unit. It's good quality paint. It's a single stage. It's not what you have on your cars now, which is a clear coat system. I have taken auto body years ago and I've painted 17 cars in my lifetime, and I've never used clear coat stage system painting. It's either been lacquer or single stage. That's all I know. So that's why I use this, because it's inexpensive, it's easy to use, and I'm gonna show you here in just a minute. Go outside and shoot some paint. Can't see what you guys can see. Sorry, it's too dark out here. I mean, it's too bright. Can't see the dark screen. First coat, let it tack, then I'll come and shoot another coat. Gotta let it tack, because if you don't let it tack, it'll cause runs. It's too wet. Alright guys, I really cannot see this camera, so I hope it's not stupid looking. Second coat. And I hope you guys can see. I can't see what you guys can. Whoa! Got about half left. I can get one more coat, I think. I can get one more coat. Shoot. I hope you guys can see this. I cannot see where the camera is at. That sucks. Did I even shoot it? Alright guys, this is the third coat. I can't see the camera outside, so I hope I'm getting this. This will be the third and last coat. See what it looks like. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's 3 coats. I got a little bit of a breeze coming about, it changed from the north to the south, probably about 5 miles an hour, so hopefully that'll help dry it. It's 4:15, I think, something like that, so I got about 2-hour dry time before I can put them in the shop. Hopefully the sun helps dry it. We'll see what we got. Okay, just a quick tip. I'm cleaning my gun. Took the parts, got them soaking inside. There's still some staining on the inside of the cup, the red. I'm not getting all that out. I don't have. They make a machine where you can put your cup in and clean it. One thing you definitely want to do, the second knob. See, there's 2 knobs. Take the second knob off, unscrew it. There's a spring on the back side here. I'll show you. I've already cleaned it. I want to make sure, see the spring right there? Don't worry about it. Push the trigger to grab the needle, pull the needle out. Clean that bad boy. Clean that needle. And then lacquer thin it, clean it good, and stick it right back in there. That's all there is. Now, what I do when I'm done with my gun, I empty the paint. I take about a cup of lacquer thinner, I put in the pot, and then I run it through until it spits. Put another cup of lacquer thinner in there, clean it until it spits. I clean everything off, then I put everything back together, and then run another cup of lacquer thinner through it to make sure that when I come out, it shoots clear. I want all the paint residue out. Now I will get a little bit like what's like that. That's what I want. Now these cups are these paint guns are cheap enough to where you can just throw this thing away if you wanted to. $19, you could chunk it. But I've reused these cheap ones for years. They used to come with a leather gasket, then a rubber, now it's styrofoam. So I always take this apart and clean it, and clean this, and when I put it back together, it just makes it easier. Trust me, if you do that, you can make a $19 gun last you 7-8 paint jobs easily, if not longer. I do have one of these at work that I was figuring, it's near somewhere like 15 years old. And sometimes I use it regularly and sometimes I don't use it for months. But these little cheap little guns like these, don't let anybody tell you they're not usable. They function, they work great. Just remember, when you're using this gun, turn this all the way close, and then open it up about 2 turns and adjust your trigger to what you're happy with. And this adjusts your trigger. I usually, about halfway, I put it on the air hose, I get air, and then I get volume, get material. Best thing to do when you first shoot your gun, put lacquer thinner in it first, run some lacquer through it just in case some debris or dirt in your line, and work that through. Adjust your flow and your trigger pull, and then put your material in your cup and shoot it. Between 40 and 50 psi, you're fine. Remember, that's line pressure, not tank pressure. My tank is 150 psi. My line pressure is at 50. So just remember that. Some of you that don't have line pressure controls on your line, your air hose line, you want to control. There's some controls you can put on an air line down here. That's fine. You just want to make sure your airflow to your gun is 40 to 50 psi. It's easy to shoot. Some of you this might be too hard for some of you guys, but some of you guys know how to shoot paint. It's easy. I just want to show people this is easy to do. You can find old junky toolboxes and salvage them and make do with junk. So I just want to show you. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get. I am going to try to save this paint. Hang on a second. There is about, I don't know, 7 ounces of paint in here with hardener in it already. It may not be any good, but I'm going to try to keep it, and maybe next weekend I want to shoot the toolbox, another little box. There might be enough paint there to shoot another box. I don't know. Normally when you put your hardener in your paint, it don't last very long. You only have a certain working time. I'm going to try to save this paint and put a little lacquer in it if I have to thin it. I don't know if that'll work. I don't recommend it. It's just, I'm going to try it to see if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm not out anything. But if you guys want to try to shoot some paint, this brand, it's very good, inexpensive. It's a tractor paint. I do know of a gentleman in town that painted his truck with this, and it actually looks really nice. It's just a single stage paint. There's nothing to it. You can shoot it out of the can. I didn't even strain it. I didn't put a strainer. I've never had a problem with it. Like I said, you don't do anything to it. Just pour it in a cup and you can shoot it. Wait a minute, you have to have some. I do recommend putting hardener, and here's the hardener. You only need an ounce of this to a quart. I put too much in. I'll just tell you that right now. And the reason I put too much in, because I have it, I'm going to use it. No big deal. I think this costs like $13, and the paint costs $23. So easy to shoot. I don't know if you could brush this on. It probably look pretty ugly. But anyways, I just want you guys to see a cheap way of restoring a toolbox without using spray paint out of a can. A lot of us can find these guns. I found one of these guns at pawn shop the other day for $2. It was an older one, and I didn't know if the seals were any good, so I didn't buy it. If I was going to try it, I probably would have bought it if I didn't have one, but I knew I had this one. It's a Craftsman. It's Chinese made, I'm sure. It's not, doesn't say made in USA. So, like I said, I bought this out of the pawn shop for $10, and it was new in a box. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, video is going to be long. I hope this helps somebody. Please, if you guys get anything out of this, let me know. Give me a comment. I don't know if I'll make 2 parts out of this video or just one long video. I hate to cut something out that somebody might need or see. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I got the stuff soaking. I got my paint, my toolbox is drying. I've got, well, I gotta go check the smoker. I've got a roast on the smoker, and I need to get it. I need to make some side items. I gotta eat tonight. My wife will be hungry. All right, you guys. For now, that's it. Maybe in a couple days, I'll show you what the toolbox looks like. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just going to run these over the wire wheel and then the fiber wheel. Just brighten them up a little bit. See what they look like. All right, the wire wheel is peel up. You brighten it up, but I'm going to fire wheel, not the wire wheel this time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's my hodgepodge toolbox that I got going right now. Paint's done on this box here. Turned out really nice. The middle box, it turned out great. This turned out really good. You can see if you look real close, you can see the bugs and the dust that caught in the wind. And all the front drawers, man, the drawers turned out really good. I cleaned the logo up the best I could and put it back on there. The only thing is about the box, the middle box is a little narrower, see what I mean, than the top box. So, I don't know, it's gonna be all right. It's not gonna be moved around. Once I get it set, I've gotta find another Kennedy box for this right here. But you can see the paint. You can see where I screwed up. I went too fast. Look, I don't know if the camera picks up the lines, but there's a line there, and there's a little powdered line right there. Didn't do it on this box or this box till I got to the top. I'll show you. Let me get our ladder. Close the lid. And you can see that I was going too fast. When I sprayed it, it looks like orange peel. It's not orange peel. That is where I didn't get enough paint. I didn't flow the paint good enough like I did there. You can see the paint's flowed real good. I left the sticker on there. I went ahead, but the paint on that turned out, I mean, I didn't paint the inside, obviously, but you know, the drawers, I gotta get more drawer liner material. I ran out of drawer liner material. I gotta get some more. But the paint job, I'm happy with it. I mean, $23 plus the leftover hardener I had. I mean, that looks good, ladies and gentlemen, for doing it real quick. And I kicked myself for being in a hurry, but the weather was so cool. You really should be painting above 70 degrees. And it was 61, 62 degrees. So the mat came with it, and I just painted it with a black spray paint. I don't care. These I've already got, oops, locked. I've already got liners in these. It's a hodgepodge, ladies and gentlemen, and I've got this box in the cart. Let's see, the box in the cart and this middle box. I think I got, well, I know I got $50 in those two. And then the big box, this one and this one, I got 75 in it. And then you figure the paint, which was 46 for 2 quarts, and then you figure the hardener was another 13, and then $30 for some of the liner material. I'm right at $214 for this setup right now. And there it is, a stack-on unit. This thing is heavy. Oh my God, this, I put it on here by myself and I fought it getting on there because it's heavy. I didn't realize they don't make them like that anymore. So this one, you know, I didn't do the inside. Look at them. None of the drawers are painted on the inside. This one slides out like that. Yeah. I gotta use 2 hands, but there it goes. I mean, paint turned out, I'm satisfied. For painting outside without a paint booth, without making a paint booth in the open. I want to show you guys that, you know, you can find this junk in pawn shops and marketplace, because 2 of these boxes came from the marketplace and 2 of them came from pawn shop. And $50 and $75 respectively. Stand back so you can see the whole. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'd pay $214 all day long for all that. And I got 7 hours worth of my time in it, but for those of you that sit around and just watch ball games and waste time, I don't. So That's what I got invested. I took all the wheels apart. Everything's greased, lubed. It rolls very easily. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. Cleaned up the handles. That's another thing. I cleaned the handles up. They were all rusted. I don't know what else to tell you guys except the only thing I don't like, hang on, is this. I put it on backwards, but I couldn't, the way it's designed and the way it's made, it wouldn't fit. So I got to come up with a different locking arm, which it's not a big deal. Most of the time that'll stay closed anyways. Like I said, the drawers on the inside, you know, I didn't do a whole lot. One or two of them I sprayed. I don't know. Well, I got them covered up now, I think. Yeah, I sprayed the inside of that one. You can see the rust on the inside, look. But I'm not worried about it because it won't hurt anything. And these things, since I took them apart and greased them, this one was the one that was damaged. This one was beat up real bad and bent. It's not the best, but the drawer slides effortlessly now. Before it was bent, damaged. I straightened them all up, but I'm happy with my toolbox. I mean, you can't, for $200, $214 right now I'm into it. I'm very happy, very pleased. I could not buy a toolbox that cheap. There's no way. And the paint actually turned out really good. I'm satisfied with the paint. And you can see I took more time with this, and I went too fast with this one. In spots the paint went good, and in spots for one, these two boxes here, it's been, I don't know, 7 years last time I sprayed a car, so I did pretty good, I think, for what I got invested. And you can see the bugs. There's a bug stuck to it right there. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. You know, it's a little tall, but then again, my other toolboxes are kind of tall too, so. But I need to rearrange a lot of stuff. I gotta get my pliers together all in one box. I need to get my ratchets all in one box. And this is, I gotta make space in the corner for this, because this is not gonna move. Once I put it over there, and the reason I bought the mobile is because it was $50. The pawn shop couldn't sell it, it was beat up. I made a video on it when I first got it and how I cleaned it up. It's a long video too. But for $50, they couldn't sell it. So you know, I could see potential in it. There. All right, guys, I guess that's it. I hope somebody gets something out of it. I hope you can see, like I said, shooting this paint is easy. The only thing I do wish is it would have been warmer. I would have took more time. Also, I put too much hardener in it. I'm afraid now it's gonna, when it chips, it's gonna take out some big chunks. But I can touch it up. It's not a big deal. Anything else I need to cover? If you got questions, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I meant, would you guys have wasted your time? You know, I left the dents and dings like this. I don't have the tools to do this. I probably could have heated it and manipulated it enough to, it wasn't worth it. Like these dents right here, I'm not going to Bondo. This toolbox is going to be used. There's no reason to go in that deep. Yeah, I know it's not perfect. It's not brand new, but I'm eating ribeyes tonight because I saved money. And that's all there is to it. I'd rather save money and buy better quality. But that being said, this thing is heavy This one's heavy, and this is heavy. I picked up one similar out at Harbor Freight. Mine weighs about twice as much. I was kind of impressed in the steel quality in this. I don't know the manufacturer of this one. Of course, that's Craftsman, that's Stack On, and that's a Kennedy. This one's a Kennedy. This one, there's no marking, there's no date, there's nothing on it. And I need to quit blabbing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, give me thumbs up, thumbs down. Tell me what you think. You like it? I meant, $214 into it right now. I'm going to have another 20 or 30 into it for some more liners and some plier rails or something like that. But I'll still be under 250 for all of it. Let's just say that, 250, and I'm good to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give me thumbs up, thumbs down, and subscribe, and I hope you like it. Bye.